And we're back. Next episode, you're going to talk about here. Talk about Summer Camp Island, new season. Spoiler filled. This is a spoiler filled review. It's gonna take a little time. That's a spoiler filled one. Okay, so yeah, we have 2 episodes with Barb at first. That's what made it harder for me to get into the season because I like Barb, I like Whoopi Goldberg, but she's not a main character. So it's just like okay, we're hanging out with characters who are not the main characters for a while. She helps with the spotted, helps with the bears and things, these bears and stuff, and then you see them doing their thing. Basically that's how the whole sequence started back in the old days. Of how she's hanging out with the bears in modern times. So there you go. That was awesome. Then we have Susie backstory. Susie, hanging out as a little baby. And then she gets her sister Mildred. Mildred, who's her sister. Mildred, the mysterious rebellious mage, rebellious witch that was like causing all kinds of problems. That was Mildred. That was her sister, and it was caused because of family issues. Her parents, Mildred and Susie's parents, which you finally get to see, were actually pretty awesome people who they basically went on a trip to try and get some special potion to try to help control Mildred's powers. The issue is Susie didn't seem to have any abilities at all. Okay, at first. But Mildred was just off the wall, basically just she would basically get excited and all of a sudden frogs everywhere. That's basically how her powers were. It was frog based. See frogs everywhere. It's just like yay, she basically like woo, yeah, I'm just having fun doing something else and there's frogs along with it. So it's just like yeah, I get. So she's like hanging out. So it was definitely some interesting stuff. Her parents went to go and try to find her potion that could help her control her powers, and they went to the frozen Arctic North and everything, and got lost there. And it's just like you see, Susie eventually gets a letter from her parents that like says, from a letter she thinks it's from her parents, but it turns out from their like tour guide. You go over there, and basically she's like it's like dear, you hear they're talking, and it is like you have flashbacks like dears children of these two people, I'm not your parents, I'm their tour guide or whatever, I'm their guide through the frozen north, you see, and you don't want to go, you're going, you going, right. Through the frozen north, and basically I was hanging out with your parents, and then there was like we crossed the bridge, and then there was like an avalanche happened while we were crossing this bridge, and I made it to the other side. I didn't see where your parents went. I'm sorry. I'll keep an eye out for them. I'll keep an eye out for them. Though it's like she's like her crumbles the paper. I was like so he actually cries out like it's just like yeah. So Susie's freaked out and ticked off, and she basically was having issues with her sister Mildred at first. Then this happens, and then she's just like goes over there. It's like, look, it's all your fault. Like here, read the letter. It's like, oh, she's like, it's like, Susie, Mildred. He's like, I can't believe you. Like now, he's like, she finds out that Mildred's messing with stuff of hers that she's trying to have for her ceremony for a ceremony of basically being all grown up, and she's like, grown up and everything, and she's basically like Mildred messed with that stuff and caused all kinds of problems with it. So she's ticked off at her for that, and she's ticked off. She's like, oh, I can't believe this. She's like, oh, Mildred, you messed with my stuff. This is one of the sacred stuff, And she's like, oh, what? Hey, don't be mean to me. I'll tell mom and dad when they get back. Like they're not coming back. Look, here's the letter. Like they said, the ticket tour guide said that they got lost in an avalanche or something. It's like you read it yourself. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. She basically just goes off on her sister, telling her all kinds of stuff about how basically it's all her fault that this happened, and then she runs off and leaves. Then she runs off and leaves in a huff, and basically the lady that's taking care of her, she's like, hey, you can't be doing that stuff. Go back and apologize, all right? Basically, you need each other right now. This is super important. You need to be together right now. Because if your parents may be dead, they may be, but whatever the case is, you need to go hang out with your sister. Patch things up, man, for something bad. Before it's too late. Need to talk about this. So basically, she's like, she eventually goes back, but by that time, it's too late. sister has left, and she's walking through town. Now there was a small issue of their immortality. They dealt with that because okay, everybody like there's a lot of witches in the town. Okay, the people they're staying with, the girl, yeah, the people, the mom and daughter they were staying with are also witches, and there's also these three mean girl witches who were hating on them for selling corn, and so but one of the things they did was they gave her immortality. They gave her the immortality potion, or something. So like that, it's like, here, you have this immortality potion. Hey, when you're finally done selling corn, you can do something with your life. Something like that. She's like, whatever, but she took it. And eventually drank that stuff, and then Mildred got some, and Mildred saw that in her room as well. And when she was all upset because Susan was yelling at her. Susie was yelling at her. She drank that stuff too and ran off. And so because she ran off, and they both she ran off all upset. When someone was like when she was just running around and being upset, Mildred has the ability to basically cause rainstorms that rain down rain and frogs. So she's raining down rain and frogs, and he's like, well, hey, the townsfolk are like, well, hey, man, could you stop that stuff? Could you stop messing around raining down toads and things like that? And she's like, yeah, well, you'll never control your powers, because she's heard that all her life. Learn to control your powers. And she's like, I've been trying to control your powers. And like lashes out at him, magically, and hits him with something, causing him to transform. And he's like, oh my gosh, what's happened to me? And that's basically she like started just throwing magic all over the place, causing all kinds of problems. That basically is what the rampage was. That basically caused all kinds of problems. So many problems that basically any magical being found was basically deemed dangerous. So that's why they had to hide, because Mildred just went off magically, just caused a lot of problems, caused a riot in the town because they were trying to get into chase after her after they got transformed into monsters and whatnot. So this is like, so she had to run and hide. A side effect of nasty side effect of two nasty side effects of the immortality potion that they both drank is that their body gas apparently becomes ghosts that want to hang. The ghosts that also like based on their memories or some crap. So Mildred, no, Susie has been basically showing off that Susie, it's straight in the theme song. Susie's burps become ghosts. Okay, that basically are based on her memories. Apparently, Mildred's, let's say, stuff from the other end of Mildred. Here comes Ghost. She got a friend. A fart friend. I'm like, oh, like I thought we don't. Hopefully, I was hoping we were done with the fart humor. No, really not. No, Susie farts a lot. So yeah, but apparently that doesn't do it. Not for her. So I'm like, nice. You got a Ghost. From deep inside you, you got a ghost. You got a friend from deep inside you. I'm like, it was weird. It was really weird. So basically, they went on separate ships. Both Susie and Mildred went on separate ships to different places. And that's how that basically backstory ended, and it was kind of sad and weird, and that's probably one of the reasons why the girl's Susie's so grumpy. Yeah. So after that awesome backstory came an episode, I believe, with generic character number one in front. One of the characters in front. There's generic character's sister. There was another episode. Oh yeah, there was another episode with generic character number one and her sister, generic character number two. A few things like that happened. So there are a few episodes like that. There was an episode that was Oscar-centric, Oscar and monster-centric, and it was awesome too. It was a very nice episode too. Kind of some monster backstory, So that was great. So they basically, mostly focused on backstory, Susie backstory, Barbie backstory, and monster backstory, and then these new characters came in and hung out, and it was kind of fun. And it was actually kind of fun, but there was issues with the main characters. There were that many main characters. shown off. So I'm like, yeah, it's still a good season. It's still a lot of fun in there. Despite the witchcraft, I'm not a fan of that stuff, but. I like the characters. I like the characters a lot. They are, of course, the art, the animation are amazing. Of course, it's Summer Camp Island, and music as well. Yeah, and the humor is just so good. It is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. I like that. So the game, the show is a pretty awesome show. HBO Max hooked it up, and now I'm gonna watch some Little Ellen and do a review on that because wow, that stuff looks amazing. I don't Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Yeah, I like cute shows with cute characters. Okay, the cute art style, cute characters, and yeah, Summer Camp Island has that. Apparently, so does Little Ellen. I'm gonna go check it out some more. Yeah, we'll talk about that. See you next time. On the next, there you go. See you next time. Check me out on YouTube, DV Art. Yes, I know that's creepy, but yeah, what can you do?